Most of the time, labor and delivery goes smoothly and perfectly, and everything is joyous and miraculous. But other times, it all goes terribly, horribly wrong. Well, hello there. Welcome back. My name is Julie. And if you are going to have a baby, you gotta watch this first. Before we go any further into this video, I do need to say, I am not a trained healthcare or medical professional. All that I share on here is for entertainment purposes and to encourage you to seek info and support from your healthcare or medical professional. Okay? Also, I think it is vital that before we go into all of this madness, I have to tell you, I would do it all over again. Every bit of it for my babies. My first labor and delivery went pretty much textbook. Everything was beautiful. It was wonderful. I was miserable because I'd never been through that before, but everything worked out just really well with the delivery, my baby, me. It was great. Except for the episiotomy. We'll talk about that another time. Be sure to subscribe and be part of this because I'm telling you everything that you need to know that I didn't know before I started popping out babies. This is vital information and it's gonna matter. Stool softener, just throwing that out there. Stool softener, immediately after you kiss that baby hello. Stool softener. So my third labor and delivery is the one that we are talking about today. Well, my third full term. Okay, holy cow. We made the mistake of getting induced. I needed to be induced because of medication that I needed to be on for a situation that I had going on, and I wasn't allowed to take the medication for it while I was pregnant. It was one of those things. And so instead they had me on narcotics and oh my goodness, it was crazy. And I was so ready to be done with that and to be back on the medicine because every day that I was not on that medication, there was damage happening to my body. So the doctor decided, hey, let's induce you. And I was about 2 weeks before my expected due date. So we go in, we get started on the Pitocin and things are gearing up and I'm starting to feel, the contractions and just it's happening. It is happening. And then my doctor ends up being sick that day. So I did not meet the man who would deliver my third child until right as he came in, to do the process. So he comes in and he was wonderful and I love him and adore him. And he ended up being our family doctor for several years until he retired. And he saved our lives. My daughter and I, he saved our lives. Things got bad. Was it because of being induced and the Pitocin? I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I have my sneaking suspicion that is what happened. So if at all possible, you're going to get a lot of advice from me in this video, but if at all possible, don't be induced. When your body is ready, that's when it will do the thing. Take the chance. I know with medications and things like that, it seemed like it was absolutely necessary. Like I had no choice, but I did have a choice and I could have, 2 weeks after, 9-10 months, what difference more was 2 weeks going to make? But I was going with what I was advised to do and I can't change it, but I can learn from it and hopefully share some of it with you to influence and inform your own journey. Oh, that's the very child that we are talking about. So things got dicey. Things really got dicey as I'm laboring. All of a sudden, as I'm pushing and pushing, I've got my husband over here, my mom over here, she was recording. Not like she was recording, okay? That's another story. We'll tell that another time. All of a sudden, someone sticks an oxygen mask on my face and my mom drops the laptop she was using and starts yelling at me. Julie, push. Julie, push, damn it, push. So I pushed and I hear a nurse. I didn't love this nurse, okay? I loved the doctor. I didn't love the nurse, and I don't think he liked her very much either because he was ornery with her. But I hear the nurse saying, all right, so we're going to do a C-section. And I'm like, what the hell? And here's my mom still, push, Julie, push. I didn't know that my baby and I were dying. I didn't know that. I was so deeply involved in, well, the pushing process and the breathing, and my epidural had not been effective. And so I was in horrific pain. I just pushed. I just pushed and pushed. And I heard the nurse say that, and I've got my mom screaming, and my husband's just like, you know, I didn't know that they couldn't detect a heartbeat from my baby. I didn't know that. I didn't know that my oxygen levels had dropped well into the dangerous zone. I didn't know we were dying. Whew. The doctor got out this vacuum suction thing. We're talking torture device, or amazing like NASA technology. I don't know. But he said, we're going to vacuum her out. Something to that effect. And there's my mom yelling push. And he sticks something up in there and he sucked that baby out. Between me pushing and him suctioning, we got her out. She had been sunny side up, is what they called it. So she was not facing the proper way, for starters. She was head first, but you know, your face is supposed to be, she wasn't. She was not the way she was supposed to be. She was having a very hard time getting out, and the cord, the umbilical cord, was wrapped around her. As soon as he was able to get her out, he was able to untangle it and to reestablish, you know, her breathing and all of that. And then, of course, I was all better because I was no longer under the strain and the suffering of, you know, trying to get her out. And so my body was able to calm down. Took a little while, but we all calmed down and we lived. I will forever be grateful to that doctor, like I said, that I met right then. He was wonderful. All right, so we got through the trauma of the birth, and it was trauma. That's all there is. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Like I said, my first one, it went beautifully. It was wonderful. My second one, he came out blue and not crying and ended up in the NICU for a week. So it can go really well, which is great because I wouldn't have had any other kids if the first one hadn't gone so well. And then it can be all different shades of hell, bringing children into the world. And I am here to share all of that with you, to help you through your own processes, to know what to be prepared for, to prepare for worst case scenario, and nothing in your birthing plan to go the way that you add all this, your music, no, that's all bullshit. When you are pushing and screaming and you're dying and your baby's dead, you don't care about that water music of the ocean that was supposed to be playing. You don't care. You just want to live and you want your baby to live, okay? Anyhow, things can go bad. Things can also go really well. But I want to share my own experiences. That's what I'm doing here on this channel. We are uncensored and unfiltered, and I am just dumping all this out there in the hopes that it will help someone, or that we can commiserate at having been through maybe the same kind of situations. There were things that, I went through that I was not at all prepared for. I was not at all prepared for a baby to come out blue because his lungs were underdeveloped, even though he came out on time and had had a perfect pregnancy. I didn't know, and this is so naive and ignorant, but I didn't know that that was something that might happen. And especially after my first one went so beautifully. So, okay, we're gonna learn from my cautionary tales, and you're gonna be prepared for anything and everything. And then it's all going to go perfectly well and smooth, and your birthing plan is going to get all checked off. And you're going to be like, so there, Julie, crazy lady on the YouTube. Oh, Lord. All right. Now, you get through all the trauma. You start your recovery process. And this is where we get to the meat of today's video. This is where we really get into it, the topic at hand. And that is your Bajingo after baby. After my first 2 full-term deliveries, yeah, things were not quite the same that they had been before, obviously, because I had pushed babies out. But once everything had started contracting back into place, mostly, things were normal, all right? Or pretty damn close to what they had been before pushing those babies out. Not with the third one. I should be drinking wine when I'm doing, what am I doing with water? It's so healthy. I should be drinking wine or something while recounting these tales of horror and discussing Bajingo business. I'll do that next time. So I expected that after a few months, that third delivery, I expected things to go the way they had before. Things are going to kind of back up, and certain things are going to fill back up, and no. The trauma was so significant and the damage so severe in pulling that baby, my beautiful baby, in getting her out of me alive and saving us both. It was not free. Nothing is free in this world, and there is always a price and a consequence. And for me, the price of the life of myself and my child was nothing is ever the same. She is now 10 years old, and it just has not completely gone back. And then, of course, I've been aging in the process. Nothing is as it was. Not even after the other 2 babies. Nothing is as it was. You will find that you are essentially hollowed out. The many times that I have lost weight, I have realized something incredibly important, very significant. You do not get to choose where you lose the fat from. You don't choose. And it's generally in the places that you actually want to keep it. It's in your boobs and it's in your ass. That's where you want to keep it, especially these days. Everyone wants a big ass. That's not how it went. That's not how it's ever gone. You lose it in the most ridiculous places, and I have never gotten that ass back. The one that I had before all the babies, it was iconic. It was amazing. It was lush. It was plush. It was full. It was firm. It's gone. It's long gone. Anytime I'm on a long car ride or on a plane ride, Mama's got to have like a donut squishy seat. The ass is gone. For that little girl over there, and for me. The things we go through. Like I said, nothing is free in this life. There's always a cost and a consequence. Well, it so happened that this third time, when things got stretched out, they went beyond repair. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have functional parts. I do, and still enjoy the pleasures of life. But they're not the same as they were structurally. You can have crazy plastic surgery procedures to fix all that stuff back into place and plump things back up and fill things back in. I'm not doing that. Can you imagine how painful that would be? I had a hysterectomy, and all the parts were removed vaginally. That'll be another video. I know I've talked about my hysterectomy before, but we're gonna go into the pain sometime on a new video. We have to, because God, okay? Having been through that, no one is touching that stuff in a surgical manner. It's not happening. I've learned to live with and adapt, and we have, and it just is what it is. What the point I'm getting to you is, once things get stretched out so much, damaged so much, they don't go back without help. And you need to prepare for that, because it is a physical change, but it causes psychological consequences as well. when things are not what they used to be, it takes part of you. And this is going to sound kind of superficial. I don't care. This is my truth and I'm sharing it. It does cause something psychologically because it's a part of you that you don't have anymore, in a sense. It's still there, but it'll never be what it was before. Okay? I've mourned the loss of my ass years ago and got over it and moved on. But this, I haven't. Because it's something that, and my ass, I haven't gotten over that either, because sitting for long periods of time, like I said, is really tough. You're using all your business down in your crotch area, your vagina, you've got your rectum back there, and everything, your urethra, they're all in there together in that little cave. And when I say cave, I mean, yeah, things got messed up getting that baby out. Okay, I'm no spring chicken. I am not 20 years old. And it is what it is, and I'm not willing to have surgery. So what I have found is that hygiene becomes more difficult because you've got to clean everything out, get everything as tidy and sanitary as you can, and where things are so, this might be exaggerating just a little bit because that makes it more fun, and I like to embellish. I like me an embellished story, okay? Plus, if you can bring a little bit of humor into it, it does make it easier to discuss. I am not a shrinking violet, any kind of wallflower, no prude, nothing like that. But even so, we are putting this shit out to the world. And that can be difficult. Difficult. But I have wanted to talk about this, God, for years, but I didn't have a place or a platform or a way to talk about it that I felt was worth what it might take out of me, what I might face because of it. I didn't have a place or a platform where I felt like it was worth putting it out there. But now I do, and that's right here. So thank you for watching. Whether you have been with us a long time and come from our main channel, or you just found us here, I'm grateful to have you. My name is Julie. It's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you'll subscribe and stay around, because a lot more is coming. So hygiene is different. Your sexual experience, slightly different, but I mean, everything is a little bit modified after you've pushed a baby out, okay? But everything still, it still works, okay? Everything still works. You're still having a good time. Mainly, it's down to the psychological consequences and the sanitary process, the hygiene. It does get difficult. Mainly because it's more work than it was before, and having to adapt. But that's life. That is the consequence. That is the price of having a child, of bringing a life into this world out of your body. You build it inside of you. You build this whole other brand new person. Well, going into that, you need to know what's going to happen to you, because they are not just a lifetime commitment, they are a body commitment, a devastating change to your body commitment that you've got to be ready to embrace. Your stuff, you might be one of those who has just the lottery genetics, where you don't even get stretch marks. Everything just sucks right back in. All of it fills back in where it's supposed to, and you are just boom, boom, boom. You could be that rare unicorn. And if so, oh, golly for you. Goody. I'm so happy for you. Bitch. Anyway, or you could be like most of the rest of us, and nothing is ever the same. Your ass is gone. Your vajayjay is like a burnt down circus. And your brain, don't be, and then your boobs, and then your... If you're going to bring a baby into this world out of your own body, you need to be prepared to either accept it the way it is and adapt to what has changed, or have a lot of money set aside and a really good plastic surgeon on retainer. Why am I sharing all of this very personal, very private kind of stuff? I'm sharing it because nobody talks about this shit. I had no idea that having a baby vacuumed out of me was even a thing, for one thing. I also had no idea what the consequences of that would be. I am forever grateful. Like I said, we're alive, okay? We're alive. We've won the lottery already. All right? Because her and I, we were basically dead. We were right on the doorstep, the precipice. We were 1 foot in, okay? Grateful to be alive. Absolutely. But I had no idea, no clue that that was something that could happen, and that it would happen that way, and that it would have the consequences that it did and the lifetime results. Now you know. Will it help anybody out there? Maybe, maybe not. Hopefully it will at least be educational, informative, and possibly entertaining. I don't know. Do you get entertained by hearing a loony lady in her kitchen talk about her broken vajayjay after having a baby suctioned out of her at the point of death? Maybe. But if nothing else, I get to share it. I get to talk. I get to do this. And I get to put something out there that I've been carrying on my own, and I'm not the only one. That I know. Sister, I hear you. I see you. All right, I get it. All those steps you have to go through to make sure that you are thoroughly clean and that things are put where they need to go with your clothing and your this and your support wear and you're trying to find... I understand. You exist. Your struggle is valid. And just like me, you are grateful to have brought a life into the world, but it doesn't change the fact and the reality and the validity of what has happened to our bodies that we still live in. And it's important to talk about that, free of judgment, free of fucking mommy shaming. Oh, you should just be grateful. You should just be grateful. We are grateful. But other people can't even have kids. I had 9 miscarriages. 1 very, very severe. Okay? I'm grateful. But it doesn't change the fact that I still live in a modified body that bears the scars of the whole process. Stop mommy shaming. That's a whole other thing. Stop mommy shaming. Who the hell do you think you are to tell some other woman what she should or shouldn't think or feel about her body and her birthing experience, her mothering experience? You're bringing a life into the world. You're creating it in your guts, in your belly. All right? There is some slack there, or at least there should be. And especially if you're also a woman that has created a whole other life. Maybe you are just so perfect at it. Permit me a snotty moment. Maybe yours is just so perfect and it's your life and your every minute is dedicated and you have nothing else going on in your life but your child, your children, and it's perfect and there's no dishes on the stove. Another topic we'll talk about sometime. The phrase, my kids are my whole world. That's bullshit. And that's very unhealthy. Your kids do not need the pressure of being your whole world. That is not fair to them. And that is not a good thing or an honorable thing. Not a virtuous thing. Because those kids are going to grow up and they're going to want to go and have their own damn lives. And then what are you going to do? We'll talk about that another time. How important it is to respect and to learn to love what you do have, the body that you're in, okay? But also to focus on your own hobbies, your own life, your own existence, your own autonomy as a person, as a woman, not just a mother. And I don't mean that in any kind of derogatory, devaluing way. Because being a mother, oh my God, is the most beautiful, most difficult, most amazing experience, job, position, role that you can ever fill. But it's not the only thing that you are. You are still Susie, Lucy, Mary, Bonnie, Chrissy, Julie. Don't forget that. Don't lose that. Even if you have lost your ass, your boobs, your elasticity, don't lose you. I have had so much fun on this meandering journey of horror stories in the labor and delivery, and horror stories in the bathroom for years thereafter in the hygiene process. It has been my treat and my pleasure. I do hope that you are subscribed. There will be more of this oversharing coming real soon. And man, it feels good to just lift all this, because you carry it on your own. It feels good. It feels good. I am preparing myself. I will have some wine on hand when I go into the comments section of this doozy. Have a wonderful day. Know that you are valuable. You are worthwhile. You are seen. You are heard, even if it's only by some loony lady at her kitchen table with dirty dishes on her stove. You matter to me. We'll talk soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.